Hi, my name is Michelle Skally Doilney, and I'm with the International Feng Shui Guild here with Katie Rogers. And Katie, if you could tell us about yourself, tell us about your school, that would be great.
Okay, I'm Katie Rogers. My school is the Wind Horse School of Feng Shui. I'm based in Birmingham, Alabama. However, my school is virtual, and I love Feng Shui, and I'm so glad to be here today to tell you all about it.
Fantastic. And maybe you could tell us the story of how you found Feng Shui.
Okay, this is a fun story. So I graduated college in the mid-90s, and I was an English major, and I knew I had a passion for travel and writing. And I also had some art background. And I ended up not knowing what I wanted to be when I grew up after college. Like a lot of my friends went off and kind of had a direction. I didn't. And traveled for a little while, lived in a few different places, and would just save up money and go travel. And ended up in Austin, Texas, working at a publishing company. So it was what I call a sea of gray cubicles. And I had just been in these beautiful places, in Europe and the Bahamas and in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and it felt a little bit like a prison. Even though the people there were wonderful, I even enjoyed the work. But one day at lunch, after working there for a few months, a lot of the coworkers, we would go off site for lunch. And I said, y'all, I have the best idea for a business. Go into businesses, make the environment feel better, and then people will be happier working there, and it'll help the bottom line of the company. And this is such a no-brainer to me. And I really was so excited for this idea that I thought I had made up that I went to the bookstore that weekend and looked in the interior design section and found Terah Collins' book called The Western Guide to Feng Shui in that section. I had never heard of Feng Shui. And I pulled this book out, and there was a little chair there, and I'm like, what is this? And I was floored by what I was reading. And I crack up because, Feng Shui is an ancient practice, and I thought I basically created it. But after reading her book and putting some of the ideas to practice in my own home, I realized this is what I'm looking for. This is it. This is it. And I would play around with my own space, play around with friends' spaces, and I just kept kind of following my bliss with it and ended up getting certified in BTB school, Tibetan Black Hat, with Sharon Stasney with the Western School of Feng Shui, which is no longer around, but her books are still some of my favorite. So that's it.
That's fantastic. Well, we're hearing from many school directors, practitioners, that intuitive feng shui, that intuitive wanting to make a difference in the environment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned BTB, and maybe you could tell us a little bit more about your program and what you teach, what you do in your program.
Yes. Okay. So before I studied with Sharon, I actually did study Compass School. And I kind of self-taught myself so much that once I was into Compass School and I loved it, but I realized BTB was really where I wanted to get certified. And so that's what my school is based in, with some influence from the Compass or classical school. And it's a 9-month program. It begins in the spring and ends in late fall. And we get together live every week, one evening a week. We do have a little integration break in July where we have a little time off, but it's a small group personal transformation program, this 9-month program where we meet once a week. I call it the Odyssey, Feng Shui Odyssey. And what it is we get together and look at each other's spaces. And we use the Bagua as our guide. So I teach around 2 to 4 weeks on each gua throughout the year, matching the gua to the seasons. And we basically get to watch each other and witness each other and witness ourselves as we make changes to our spaces and then have shifts in our lives. So you're witnessing each other while you have your own deep Feng Shui dive. So that's the Odyssey. Now, if people want to get certified, I offer 3 weekends a year. They have to take all 3 weekends. They have to be present. And it's 10 hours a weekend. And I teach them how to consult for others. So we have the foundation in the Odyssey. We talk about, of course, the Bagua, Chi flow, yin yang, intention, symbolism, the 5 elements, and then we take it to the next level in the weekend intensives. And you also get 3 one-on-ones with me or more, depending on when you sign up. And it's really a beautiful experience to go on this journey with a small group of people. And we support each other, and we have a Slack group that we're on, throughout the week. And it's a lot of fun, but it's also a deep, deep dive. So I think I hit all the points there.
Yeah, so it sounds like the 2 different tracks, the personal and the professional.
Yes.
What is your favorite part of the curriculum to teach?
Okay, I know this is so hard because of course I love it all. I get excited almost every night. But I really love how Feng Shui brings people breakthroughs, and how even if if I'm advising in front of the group on a space, because we look at each other's spaces, of course, and how we can have those heartfelt communications and connection to bring people self-awareness so that they have more clarity moving forward in their lives. That's what Feng Shui can do. I mean, it's amazing. I've been doing this for over 25 years, and it's still amazing to me that we can learn so much about our own vibration, our own personalities, our own journeys through our spaces, and be able to move forward in life in a way where we can live out our dreams by executing things in our space, like putting things into place. So I don't know, that's the best I can do right now. I just love watching people experience Feng Shui. I love it. That's it.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. Yep.
What advice would you give to your younger self if you could look back and do that?
Okay. So I do love the phrase follow your bliss. And I was pretty good at that. I was pretty good at that when I was younger. However, I would kind of dampen it with some doubt. And, we have this messaging in this culture that you're supposed to be doing something at a certain age. And I would just tell my younger self, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. If you can stop worrying about it and just let yourself go with it, all the pieces of all these different passions are going to come together. And really, I wish I had believed in myself more, like really believed in myself, because it's one thing to have somebody believe in you, and it's one thing for you to have a passion, but to really believe in yourself, I think just sends out a reverberation into the world. And even though I loved what I was pursuing and what I was doing, I don't think I could walk into a room and really know that I trusted myself 100%. And I know that sometimes takes time, but I think when we're young, we have innate knowing. And I think our culture needs to tell younger people that more, and listen to younger people more, because there is a lot of wisdom in youth. So that's what I think. Believe in yourself. It sounds so basic and trite when I say it, but when you actually do it, something shifts. So that's what I was saying.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to share about your school or curriculum, or any other details?
Let's see. I have a few little notes. Let me make sure I covered. Well, for people who want to get certified, they do get to shadow me in consultations. My students love that. We have so much fun with that. And of course, to complete the certification, they've got to do a residential and a business. And I actually do have them also do a 3-hour declutter with somebody. Decluttering is a big part of what I teach. And it's, I just want my students to have that experience, even if they're not going to be offering that for part of their practice or their business. And I offer once a month, for the first Friday of every month, I do a free Zoom at noon where it's just open to the public. So if anybody wants to get to know my teaching style or get to know, kind of my interests that are parallel to Feng Shui or like head-on Feng Shui, I invite them to come to that. And then every January, we do a group declutter, meaning we visit leading up to Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, and we clear together and we learn from each other and we support each other. And once people, I call it the declutter jamboree. And once people sign up that one January, we meet back every January. You only have to sign up once and you're part of this community. And it is so fun. So yeah, come aboard. Even if it's not for the full Odyssey, my applications do open November 1st, and the people that sign up the earliest get some early bird perks. And the application leads to a discovery call with me, which is also just a fun and powerful experience. It's a 2-hour call. So I welcome people who are interested. I guess if they've been watching this long, just go apply.
Oh, this is fantastic. Thank you so much, Katie.
Yeah. It's so good talking to you, Michelle.
You too. And so you've got some information to share with us, your screen share.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yes, people can take a screenshot of this if they want.
All right.
So I do have two websites. I have the Windhorse School and I have Katie Rogers Feng Shui. And the katierogersfengshui.com has my blog and a lot of information. And Windhorse School really goes into the curriculum. So people can visit both to get the information for the application and the Zoom at noons. And then, of course, signing up for my newsletter is the best way to keep involved with what I'm offering. So yeah, I welcome.
All right.
Yay,
Thanks
Feng
so much.
Shui. Yay.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Michelle. I really appreciate that y'all offer this. The guild is amazing.